welcome to the Paddock Porch, round 22. Can you believe it? 2 more rounds and we are done with the season. We are headed to America yet again for the 3rd time this year. We are going to Las Vegas. It will be a street circuit, it will be a street race, it will be a night race. I cannot wait. So today I have an awesome guest, met up on TikTok. He's joining in all the way from Entebbe, Uganda. I'm meeting him for the very first time. I'm so excited. All F1 fans, the Paddock Porch crew, buckle up, rev those engines, get your porch vibes on, get comfortable, get something to sip on. I hope my guest has something to sip on. Put on your good vibes. My guest is ready. So crew, let's give a warm porch welcome to Mwine. Welcome, Mwine.
Thank you very much, Shiko. Yes, indeed, it's the first time we're meeting. I'm glad to be part of the Paddock Porch and to get to know more F1 fans across the continent.
Amazing. So yes, we finally get to meet. I'm so excited. Everyone is welcome on this porch and thank you so much for making time even with the 1 hour time difference. I really appreciate it. And you can see how sports does magic, right? Shiko in Joburg, South Africa is meeting Mwine from Entebbe, Uganda. I'm so honored you're part of the crew and yeah, welcome.
Yes, sport is an interesting thing. 1 hour time difference or more. For an F1 fan, that's not much. But it's nice to meet you.
You had everything going against you, like no profile picture, you don't post anything on social media. I was getting the vibe like you don't like social media somehow. Main reason why you're here, everyone is welcome on the porch. Just have a decent conversational skills, know how to banter a bit of Formula One here and there. You don't need to know a lot. My second reason is I have a soft spot for Ugandans and I'll tell you more about that. Of course, not all Ugandans, only the fun ones. So I hope you're a fun Ugandan. The third reason you are on the porch is I love your story. You have watched Formula One since you were 7 years old. Like, that's long. So my goodness, I cannot wait for you to tell us about all that. And yeah, are you ready?
Yes, I am. I am very,
Put
very
your
ready.
vibes on.
Well,
Porch vibes is hype, energy.
of course, I can feel the energy all the way in Entebbe.
We are going to go into the quick fire segment. 10 questions. Keep it short, keep it witty. Whatever comes on top of your mind, don't overthink. So this quick fire is inspired by my love for fun Ugandans. So let's get to it. Lights out. Let's go. Question 1. If you were to choose Formula One then, 1997, 1998 versus now, which one would you choose?
I'll choose 1997 because the restrictions weren't there. That means we get to see a lot of innovation on the racetrack. Today, every car looks the same.
Okay, so I wasn't watching Formula One then, so I will take your word for it. So let's get things straight. Formula One was much better in 1997 and 1998. That is Mwine's take. If you have another take, you'll tell me in the comments. Question 2. The first car you ever loved, even if it's a toy.
I'd say Lightning McQueen from Cars because it was the easiest to relate to. Red, nice one. Then it got lost. Maybe I'll buy a new one.
So you actually had the actual car, or you mean the movie?
The movie I watched, and then Dad bought me a toy replica.
Oh,
So I used
you
to play with
actually
it.
really had the Lightning McQueen. Oh,
Yes, I
that's so
did.
cool. Question 3. Would you rather be stuck in traffic or would you rather run out of fuel?
Well, I'd say it's a two-pronged answer, but I'd go, if I'm stuck in traffic, I should be with friends or family. If I'm alone, I'd rather run out of fuel.
I think that's a do or die
Yes.
kind of question because you're doomed if you're in traffic and you're still doomed if you run out of fuel. Next question. If your life were a racetrack, what would it be? Monaco for the glam, Baku for the chaos, or Spa for the unpredictable?
I would take Spa because of the unpredictability. You have to be on your toes for anything, good, bad. That's why I like Spa.
So you are a Spa. Your
Yeah.
next question. If you could rename the Paddock Porch after a racetrack, which one would it be?
I would give it Portiamo.
Which one is that one?
It was an old F1 track, but it's a roller coaster through and through. Very high downforce, very high elevation, and it shows the highs, the lows, and that one is pure racecraft.
Thank you. I've learned something new.
You're
I'm
welcome.
going to check it out. I love learning new things about Formula One. I fell in love with Formula One by asking silly questions. I always love learning something new, and thank you for teaching me that. I'm really grateful. Next question. You are late somewhere. Do you stick to the speed limit, or you just say the cops will understand?
Uganda's case, you will have to use the speed limit, especially if you're going to Kampala,
Yeah, so in Uganda, we stick to the speed limits.
especially in the city.
Next question. Your go-to road trip snack.
I would say I'll go with meat or vegetable pies or anything pastry.
We are going to Las Vegas. So, Mwine, what is your Las Vegas Grand Prix podium prediction?
I would say this, it's been a kind place to Mercedes. And for 2025, P1, I'll go with Kimi Antonelli. P2, I'll go with George. P3, I'll go with Oscar Piastri.
Amazing. That was easy for you. As we can
Very
see,
easy.
you are a Mercedes fan, so any Mercedes on podium is your thing.
Yes.
So for me, I'm a bit worried there because I want Lando to win the championship. He crashed out there in 2023. He hit a bump and lost control and crashed out. So I'm a bit worried for him there. But if he dares to win in Las Vegas, I am 100% sure he's winning the world championship. And so for that, like you were saying, Mercedes does well there, Red Bull does well there, Ferrari did well there the past 2 years, but this year there have been disappointment after disappointment. So my podium prediction would go like this, and purely biased because I want Lando to win the championship. P1 I'll give Lando. P2 I'll give Max because of the new engine he got recently. I think he's going to cause a bit of problems in Las Vegas as well. P3, I'm going to give one of your guys. I'm going to give George. Yeah, so my podium prediction, Lando P1, Max P2, George P3. And that's totally biased. But yeah, if Lando messes up, I'm sure Max and Piastri will be there to take the spoils. Next question. The rookies have been doing some great job this year. Have you noticed?
Yes, I have. Right from all the rookies that have joined,
Who's your rookie of the race in Las Vegas?
I'll go with Kimi.
Amazing. Next question. This is the most important question because after Las Vegas, we'll only have 2 more races. So, Mwine from Entebbe, Uganda. Who is winning the World Drivers' Championship 2025?
Well, I'll go with Piastri, based on how he started the season and how he's matured as a driver.
I'm the only one who's Team Lando on this Paddock Porch. So I don't know who will be upset at the end of the season, but I hope it's not me. I hope I will not have to apologize to the crew for saying Lando will win this season. I hope I'll be the one who's talking and never shutting up if Lando wins. Amazing quickfire segment. If you have different opinions than the ones we have given above, leave yours in the comments below. I will read and I will respond as usual. You have been watching Formula One since you were 7 years old. Tell me in your own eyes, how has Formula One changed over the years?
Well, Formula One used to be considered a rich person's sport and barely accessible. Back in the day, I remember it was Supersport 1 that was showing exclusive on DSTV in Africa. But say 2007 is a turning point where we got to see someone who looks like us, someone who's black in the sport. I think, yeah, that was when also F1 was being on ITV and BBC. They kind of shared the rights. That was before Crofty. 2007 was almost a perfect sensational fight to the title. He won the title by 1 point. Hamilton and Alonso were in the same team. 2008, Hamilton finally won the title in McLaren. McLaren was shrouded in some Spygate because they spied on Ferrari and they were fined over 100 million. And actually, that's when Mercedes and McLaren split. 2009, we see Brown GP with Jenson Button starting the regulations. And this is why I said I liked F1 before. You can start the regulation on the back foot and build and innovate. Everybody caught up, but Brown and Jenson Button had done enough to win the title. Then Red Bull from 2010, that's when they had now just hired Adrian Newey. He was able to show us that he was still a legend. 2011 was a 4-way title fight with Sebastian Vettel, Hamilton, Alonso. 12, that was the last time we ever got to see Alonso win in Formula One. And also in that period was the last time Schumacher raced in Formula One. It was also when the bombshell dropped that Lewis would drive for Mercedes. Otto has been part of Mercedes since he was 13, but now because it was a full race outfit and he was going to drive with his best friend, Nico Rosberg, 14 was the start of the hybrid. This is when the regs were long up to 2020, but again, COVID pushed it by 1 year. So we had 8 years of one regulation set. And that was the time Mercedes did something the sport has never seen. You have two apex drivers, a class in the engine field that was roughly 2 seconds faster than anyone in qualifying. And in race pace, it was a whole other thing. So I suggest you should watch 2014 Battle of Bahrain, when in about like 6-7 corners, they pulled 14 seconds after a safety car. That was also a beautiful race. 2016 was a melting point, partly because both wanted to go for the title and Hamilton had come off the back of winning. Nico, on the other hand, was like, I have to drive. That was the same time he announced a 3-year contract. And also in that, it kind of changed with the way the season ended. It was bad because Nico and Hamilton had separate debriefs. Nico would have his team, even at times the team radio would be in German. Lewis would have. Well, it was good because they only clashed once in 2016 that gave Max his first win. Coming to 2017, Mercedes rushed to get Bottas. At that time, also in Mercedes junior program, Ocon wasn't ready. George was still in F4. So we got Bottas from Williams, proven race driver. I'd say the team dynamics were good between him and Hamilton, but never to see the battles they had with Nico. 2017, Ferrari had caught up in the engine regs. That actually forced Mercedes to really innovate going into 2020 with the Devon. That's when they also, actually, that was when Mercedes started taking aerodynamics seriously because Ferrari in 2017 to 2018 and 19 was really good with aero. And this is why I said I like the old regulation. See, Red Bull, when they signed with Honda in 2019, target was to win a championship in 2021. That's why 2021, yes, the FIA did limit Mercedes in so many things. But again, you could really see teams could really catch up due to different innovation. And also today, if you look at the lap times and track records and speed, they're the previous generation. This new generation, the cars got slower and heavier. There's so many restrictions, aero, engine, the types of upgrades you bring, because you've seen teams getting banned. They brought this, not for ground effect and so on. The only beauty is it's really made the field very, very close. But again, it's given us a nightmare scenario of this is the era where I've seen the most pole to flag finishes, where the DRS is ineffective. Someone starts pole, unless they're not comfortable, they're going to convert the race. Then Liberty Media buying Formula One really opened up Formula One to, in 2017, before Formula One didn't even used to post on YouTube or X, just results of videos, no pictures, no behind the scenes. Even teams were restricted on their personal accounts. So Liberty Media buying in 2017 and 2018, I would say Formula One of today, in terms of popularity and access, it's really been good. Just, and the next regulations, they're loosening up.
Do you think it has become more of showbiz or more celebrity focused, or how was it back then and now?
I would think it's not as black and white as people want to say. Back in the day, Formula One was an exclusive club. Well, a lot of people would say, yes, it's becoming celebrity centric. But again, a lot of these celebrities are fans. So it's unnecessary. A necessary evil, I would say. The thing is, to what extent does it harm the sport? The other time I was seeing George was saying, I do a lot of media day. Partly I would say it's something he inherited from Hamilton being at Mercedes. Hamilton can balance that. He used to party, media day, come and win a championship.
Your favorite team is Mercedes, so it means whoever drives for Mercedes is the one you are pushing to win. Or do you have a favorite driver?
My favorite driver retired many years ago in Mercedes. So now any driver that is in Mercedes, I will support.
I was asking that because Formula One fans, we are two parts. Some people are more favorite driver kind of thing. Like for me, I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan, so it doesn't matter which team he's in, I'll support him. Some people like you are a Mercedes fan, so it doesn't matter the drivers change, you'll still support the drivers that come in. Where do you watch Formula One from?
If I'm home, F1 TV. If I've gone for the watch parties that I do host with my colleagues, Supersport Sky.
Amazing. So which one do you prefer most?
F1 TV.
Why is that?
Better coverage and analytics.
For me, that is a bit of too much noise. So I just like watching on TV, seeing who's gonna win, seeing the overtakes. I don't need the gadgets or to know the radio things. And I see really some content creators using this F1 TV to come up with content because they just lift the radio communications and just use it in their content. So I understand there are so many ways to watch Formula One. And really, whichever way we watch Formula One, so long as we are watching it and enjoying it, it counts. Thank you so much for sharing your Formula One experience throughout the years. So you talked about Jenson Button. Did you see that he's retiring? Or rather, he retired. He had his last race in Bahrain recently. Any race at the top of your mind that he did well? Because it sounds like you really watched all these races. So any race at the top of your mind where Jenson Button beat all the odds and just did a good job?
Canada, that was 2011. His racecraft in the rain was, I'd say, second to Hamilton.
This one you're talking about, Canada, that was the one that is listed as the longest race in Formula One history, right? Because there was something about weather and it stayed for almost 4 hours. I don't know what. That's the one you're talking about.
Yes,
Wow.
that is
So
all.
I only know about the race. I didn't watch it, but it sounds like it was so interesting. And just to weigh in, Jenson Button was Lewis Hamilton's teammate. Then came in Nico Rosenberg. So between the two teammates, who vibed well with Hamilton?
I would say Jenson Button and Hamilton always had a respectable approach, no clashing. Nico, I would say he was hard done being in Mercedes longer than Hamilton because Hamilton came in 2013 and Nico was paired to Schumacher, a former world champion. And when someone comes into a team, like how you'd see the current Lando and Piastri situation, Nico expected to inherit the first seat. Hamilton comes in 2013, wins more. That makes him number one choice for 2014. Hamilton wins the title. Hamilton wins again in 2015. And Nico's like, I have to drive. That's when the approach really changed. I will have to win a title irrespective of what goes down. I think I've seen those famous videos, Kota, when they were throwing caps across each other. They really wouldn't even sit on media day together. That's how explosive it was. Nico and Hamilton was a very good friendship that turned very sour in the end.
With regards to Jenson and Nico, both of them normally come to Sky and, so I get to look at their personality. Nico is that guy who is always Lewis Hamilton and me this, Lewis Hamilton and me that, always trying to talk about that era of racing. But Jenson, I find him a bit more level-headed, classy, and so it's good to see people live out their dreams. I think by retiring, it means he has lived out his dreams and is like, actually, the reason they said he's retiring is he wants to focus and have time with family. And we really have to look at the sacrifice that Formula One drivers have to make with regards to family. These people are always away, driving in different continents in the world. And I think it puts a lot of strain and a lot of time missed with family. So any chance somebody gets with family is really treasured. We wish him all the best, but I'm sure we'll see him on Sky. So and thank you for reminding me about that race, because I was checking something and I saw it was like the longest race in F1 history. And then I checked, I saw he had 6 pit stops, and all through that, he managed to win the race, and I think that is the best Formula One race he has ever had, with regards to what I'm hearing from you and also what I saw. We hope to see him around in Sky.
Yes, I think he'll be on Sky more. I saw Sky got a big team of pundits, so they tried to give a nice work-rest balance.
a bit about FIA. There's this wrangles about the presidency, right? Everyone used to hear Saints Senior will run for presidency. I don't know, mayors will run for presidency, but they all kind of gave up before even reaching the ballot, because every person is saying the rules is favoring the current president. So it means in December we might still have the same president. But I saw recently somebody filed a petition. There's a lady, I'm sorry I can't remember her name. She filed a petition to stop the elections, because actually it won't be an election if no one else is running, but she's trying to stop it because she's saying there's one particular rule that nobody else can hack it. No other candidate can hack to even get in the ballot. So they are saying, how is it an election if there's this one rule that pits everyone out of even running for presidency? What are your thoughts about the current president, the current fiasco in FIA?
I think Mohammed bin Salman has been the most critiqued FIA president we have had. That's the first thing. Two, he has had a lot of run-in conflicts in his presidency, right from internal stuff to the way races are handled, to the way drivers are dished penalties, to the way there's no accountability within the FIA when decisions go bad. 2022, they were penalizing Hamilton for pins, rings, jewelry. Then when drivers were asking for better fireproofing, he was hesitant. He wanted to police their undergarments. If we look at Mexico, let me not go far. Why is Hamilton the only one punished? Yes, that's Hamilton. Tomorrow, it could be someone else in a championship battle. The thing is, we can't have different rules for different situations. What would be an offense is not an offense the next weekend. So that shows a mess. The beauty is, he only served 2 terms as an FIA president. The only problem is we don't know what's going to happen. And then also another controversial thing was increasing the number of races. And many drivers and teams have refused because even the budget in the post cup has not grown.
Also, the other thing was the cursing during racing. You remember that also brought a controversy. So for me, I don't curse on a normal conversation. Like I've been chatting with you for I don't know how long, but I've not cursed. It's a calm, collected, focused discussion. But if going, I don't know how many miles per hour and somebody cuts through me or somebody crashes me, you know, some things he has brought up is just to make drivers less comfortable in that car. And it's really sad because it affects their driving. You know, if I can't express myself because somebody is listening, if I'm cursing or not, to give me a penalty, now your mind is like, I shouldn't even talk. And you know, the human personality, when something happens out of nowhere, we either shout, and whatever you shout depends on what comes from your mouth as quickly as possible. But yeah, it's so sad. Let's see how that goes, because he was supposed to run unopposed in December, but I saw there's a recent petition. So let's see if he'll run. If he will still be president, we have to wait another 4 years. But anyway, that's politics. I was just bringing it as a point of discussion because it's good to also know the governing bodies, because they really affect our races. You see, our drivers are getting penalized. They're losing on wins. They're losing on points. Hamilton, sadly, a championship was taken from him. So really, we need to put interest on this FIA. You know, we are normally busy watching the race. We forget the referee. We need to actually put our minds who's the referee of this race, because we don't want our drivers to be suffering and losing championship, losing points, because we did not put our voice or say what we think about the referee. So let's see how that goes. I have really learned a lot about Formula One in the past, and good thing you brought Jenson Button, because I saw he had retired. So that was a good mention in the episode where we can just give him his flowers. I mean, he's the fifth or sixth most experienced driver in Formula One. I'm not sure, but I think he is either number 5 or number 6, because he really did a lot of races back in the day. So yes, we wish him well as he goes to retire, and we wish him well with his family. And yeah, I'm going to come back to Ugandans. I have a soft spot for Ugandans, and really it's the truth, because my first encounter with Ugandans was years back when I was finishing campus. Microsoft for Africa initiative was coming up, and Microsoft Kenya took me and some campus people to do some work for them. And luckily, some Ugandans, some Tanzanians, some Africans were there, and I met some really awesome Ugandans. We used to work and also hang out. So they were good at their work, tech stuff, coding, and they were really fun to hang out with. So yeah, I'm always out looking out for fun Ugandans everywhere I go. It doesn't matter if it's Joburg, if it's Kenya. They're easygoing people, because I remember even after that initiative, after they went back to Uganda, anytime they were coming to Kenya, they would call us. We go out. I went to Uganda one time, Kampala, and I also called them up. I told them, I'm in your city, where are you guys? And I went to their offices, saw what they're doing. So my recent encounter, sad or maybe not sad, I have to admit that I recently ditched some friends to hang out with Ugandans in Cape Town. I had gone for Cape Town Sevens. So I like rugby also. So I had gone for Cape Town Sevens. They had gone also for Cape Town Sevens. I normally have a Kenyan jersey, and also Ugandans, of course, will have their own jerseys. So after the matches, we went to like a restaurant, just random. I went to a restaurant with my friends, and some Ugandans saw my jersey. So like, hey, Dada, you're from Kenya, 254. You know how you vibe
Area
someone.
code.
They're like, oh, 254 lady, how are you? I went to their table. Guess what? I even sat down at their table. Random strangers. I just saw they're from Uganda, and I was like, yes, I love Ugandans. Let me gauge and see if they're fun people. I sat at their table, asked them if they're having a good time in Cape Town. It happened that 2 or 3 were staying at my hotel, so I gave one lady my number. And let me tell you, after matches, we go for karaoke, we go for dinner. Breakfast time, I used to sit at their table. And oh my God, I have had really awesome experience with Ugandans. I think that weighed a lot in why I accepted you to come on the porch, because you see, online we don't know people. There are a lot of creeps out there. So one thing that you can hold on to connect with someone can really bring out a change. Like I told you, you don't post anything, so I don't know if you can even talk. I was trying to dig in deep and see what else can this guy offer, and I was like, he's Ugandan. I love Ugandans. And yeah, so a lady called Zakia actually gave me your flag. Here it is.
5'6".
You see, 256 in the building. Yeah, so she gave me your flag, and I still have it. So I'm so serious, and I actually am the kind of person, what you see is what you get. So I texted her yesterday, and I told her, if you bite your tongue somewhere, just know Shiko is talking about you on the Paddock Porch. The only bad thing about Ugandans, some Ugandans don't know Swahili. So sometimes when the banter gets hot, you want to talk Swahili, the local language. Manze, you go talk Swahili, you're like, I have to now translate because this person doesn't understand Swahili. And Swahili is an African language, because even the South African government is actually teaching them Swahili. So many people understand Swahili. So most countries, what they're doing, they're trying to teach their people Swahili. So in the end, maybe in Africa, we can all be able to talk the same language, which will be so nice, because, English was brought by British. That's why when I'm talking sometimes, I'm thinking something in Swahili, then I'm trying to decode and try and translate in English. So I might be a bit slow to communicate in English. I'm so grateful for this souvenir. I will hold on to it for the longest time. And yeah, thank God for Zakia and her friends, and also the people I met earlier. They have really weighed in on you coming in this episode. And I really am not disappointed, because I've learned so much from you. You really are those, true Formula One fans. You know your details. Thank you so much for all your input in this. Unfortunately, I didn't give them a flag. Ours we normally wear on the wrist. Unfortunately, I didn't have any to give them. We must always remember to be proud of being, like for me, I'm proud of being from Kenya, but mostly we must be proud of being African. There's a popular group that sang Live and Die in Africa. May we all be able to live and die in Africa. It is the greatest continent in the world. And the people who go out of the continent, they are mostly going to get better opportunities, get better economic footing, and we don't fault them for that. But I can tell you this for sure. If they had those opportunities here, they would not have gone out. Majority of the people in Johannesburg, they are friendly. I've been trying to get people to support my podcast, and I approach them and they smile at me and they say they'll support me. Actually, most of them are like, oh, we love Kenyans, they're friendly. And one thing that always crosses my mind when somebody tells me that Kenyans are friendly, I'm like, you must not have met Ugandans, otherwise you would have said Ugandans are the most friendly. But anyway, I love your people. Uganda is the pearl of Africa, and I cannot wait to come back there one day. If you're ever in Nairobi, Kenya, or Johannesburg, South Africa, you can leave me a message. Any question, maybe to make your stay pleasant in any of those cities, I will be available to respond to you. And really, Mwine, I'm going to give you a few minutes to give your last say.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I will start with F1. It's a lovely sport. I would love to see Formula One return to Africa. It's South Africa and Morocco. I don't mind. The only thing we need first is the first race. The only thing I ask is whichever government is going to win the contract. Interstate travel is key. It's really sickening to fly across Africa, and it's way more expensive than going to Europe and all. At least I've seen what Morocco has done for the AFCON. They're giving free e-visas. That's the first thing we need. Things should be fast-tracked. And two, whoever gets the rights to host F1, please don't make it Las Vegas prices. You're going to price us out.
I agree.
We don't need to be priced out, because if we are priced out, the event is going to flop. Look at the races elsewhere. You can have citizen deals first, continent deals like the European races and Asian races do, then global. In life, I would say learn as many languages as you can. I learned Kiswahili because I refuse to be tone deaf. If I go a place, I like to know the language because it is easier to understand partly. So learn as many languages as you can because it opens opportunities. Then for everyday life, never stop, build a new community. Mental health is key. A lot of people don't really take it serious in Africa, but we really need mental health. And then have a good work-life balance. Personally, I'm into bamboo farming. I'm going into industry. I do know a bit of tech. Learn as many life skills as you can because you do not know where they will be useful to you at one point. And then network with the right people. Lastly, I love to be back. Hopefully it won't be a very long time. Let's grow the community. Maybe in the next session, we'll have a full podcast in Swahili. Yes.
The captioning, that would be so hard. Yeah, so I like the way you said when F1 comes to Africa, they need to make it accessible to Africans first. The prices, the interstate travels. I've been to Rwanda. It's so easy to travel to Rwanda. Like, I was shocked. You know how you finish everything and you're inside the country, you're like, they didn't even ask me for anything. And I'm not even a citizen. Kagame has really done well with that aspect. And you can see how tourism is growing there because, if you are too strict for putting away genuine tourists, putting away genuine Formula One fans. The way you are saying, flights are more expensive traveling in Africa than even going to Europe. I am always on Kenya Airways Twitter handle asking them, guys, give us cheaper flights. We come to Kenya 4 or 5 times a year. Otherwise, we'll be coming once a year. It's expensive and really it's our own fault. So our governments need to come up with African solutions for African problems. Let's wait and see who will win the bid. But I love Rwanda. If it comes to South Africa, it's easier. But if the tickets are expensive, I won't pay. I'll just watch from home. Never heard anyone talking about bamboo farming. So I hope you start doing content on that so that we see even how it's done. You just do a video, maybe harvesting or something. It sounds so interesting. Yeah, so thank you so much.
Asante sana.
So crew, that was Mwine from Entebbe, Uganda. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Leave a comment, leave a like, leave a share, a retweet. I'm just like you're saying, do it yourself. This podcast, I'm the podcast producer. I am the social media. I'm doing everything myself. I'm not very good in graphics. That's why most of my things is just words. But yeah, so I'm doing everything on this podcast, but I would not mind it to grow and accommodate more young people, accommodate others in the team. But yeah, thank you all, the crew from everywhere. So crew, remember to subscribe on YouTube. If you're following me on any account, TikTok, X, Instagram, and you have not subscribed to YouTube, please go and do that. Tell 2 or 3 4 5 people to do that. There's some 2 girls who really impressed me because they said they'll do it, then they actually did it. Interact with my content, share. Thank you all who are retweeting, who are sharing. It really helps with visibility because in social media, visibility is the currency. I have 2 more guests before the year ends. Yeah, there's 2. And if anyone is interested to come on the porch, DM me. I will take it to account next year because this year I've already finished taking guest requests. And I'm sorry for that, but December is normally really busy for me. I don't want to be recording anything. I want to finish everything in November. But if you DM me this year, I'll tell you we can schedule next year. If it's next year, we'll see when I'm available. But yeah, everyone is welcome on the porch. So that's it for the Paddock Porch this week. Until next time, this is the Paddock Porch where we do hot laps, life and family. I'm Shiko, and as always, God bless.